Newscast is starting.
Been waiting to do that all day, haven't you? Bring the mic down.
Do I look good? What?
No, not with the mic that far up, you don't.
What? I feel short.
We will continue our media availability. We now welcome Matt Kenseth, driver of the number 20 Dollar General Toyota. Matt has 23 starts here at Texas, 2 wins, 13 top 5, 16 top 10s, and an 8.3 average finish, best in the series here at Texas.
Everything's big at Texas, even this mic and this desk. All right, I'll raise myself up. Is that better?
I don't even have a comeback for that.
Is that better?
That's much better. Let's do this.
Yeah. I forgot what you said, but thanks.
That was a great intro. Talk a little bit about coming into Texas and your impressive resume at this track and how you feel about your...
Yeah, I mean, typically Texas has been, I felt like, one of our better tracks, at least statistically, and, you know, how we've generally performed here. Last spring we didn't run particularly well. Last fall we ran better. I got myself put to the back kind of toward the middle of the race and was able to work our way back to 4th or something like that. So it's a fun track. It's one I've always really enjoyed since the first time I've came here. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. You know, there's a few different things with that new right side tire and obviously the new rules on the cars and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting started.
Okay, we'll take questions from Matt. Please raise your hand. We'll start up here up front with Bob.
Bob Hocker, Sporting News.
Hi, Bob.
How are you?
Good.
When trying to decide, do you get involved in decisions on tire pressures and all that, or do you just say, tell me what I'm running and, you know, how hard I can push it?
Neither really. No, I mean, I think that's, you know, some of it's regulated, some of it's recommended, some of it's, you know, teams through time, you know, figuring out whatever you can do to make your car faster or to try to get an edge. So I think, you know, things are constantly changing and you're trying to keep up with that. You know, you always try to figure out how to go as fast as you can without having a failure, whether that's with, you know, engines, parts and pieces, components, tires, whatever it may be. I mean, I think it's always kind of been like that.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Alan. Go ahead.
Alan Cavana, NASCAR.com. I know it's months away, but come the fall, if you win this race, you're going to Homestead with a shot at the championship. So with that little twist, how much of you or your team are thinking about the fall race and what I don't know, maybe you can learn something this week for the fall race?
Yeah, I mean, that's a long ways away. And that's not exactly true. You have to be in that 8 or whatever. So there's only 8 guys if they win this race, go to Homestead. So you always hope to be learning for the next time you go back when you go to racetracks that you go to 2 times for sure, especially if you feel like, you know, like this time around the rules package is a little bit different. You know, there's a few things that have changed and we're still trying to, I think, get our arms around that as tight as we'd like or as tight as we had it around last year's package. It's still different. We're still learning. So I think we're going to probably, no matter how you leave here, I'm sure the setups and what we're doing and all that stuff is going to evolve a lot before we come back in November. But for sure, I think you want to, you know, if you run good in the first time, you probably have a little more confidence coming back the second time.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Claire, then come back up front.
Claire Belang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. This racetrack, Texas, people come here, we expect a mile and a half, so, you know, we kind of gauge and rate the teams based on coming out of here. What are your expectations about what we may learn here, and if it's even premature to say when we leave Texas, we'll know so much more?
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes to group the mile and a halves, and really I think they're all really unique. Texas is a very unique racetrack with the transitions from the straightaways to the corners. From, you know, the transitions are a lot different than any other racetrack that we go to. So I feel like this place is pretty unique. I think the surface, tire drop off, where you run on track, the race, all that stuff, I think will be, you know, somewhat like California. You know, they're somewhat like each other. So high-speed racetrack like that. So, you know, again, I think all the racing's been good this year so far, and I think that everybody's still learning these new setups and the no ride height thing and the added downforce and all that stuff, and everybody's still kind of gaining on that. So I would expect the competition would keep getting closer together, you know, for the next month or two while everybody's kind of still figuring it out.
Okay, we'll take our next question up front. Go ahead.
What's up, Matt? David locally
Hey.
from NBC5. Question. Eddie Gossage gave you the remote to that Big Hoss TV out there. You can watch whatever you want for the evening. What do you turn into?
I don't know. What's on tonight? Badger game Saturday night. Cheeseheads are playing down here. I don't know what I turn on right now. I don't know what's on because I'm getting ready to practice. I guess I'd turn practice on. It's probably what he'll turn on too.
Sneak over to AT&T Stadium at any point? Maybe even Monday, say.
No, I won't. I'll probably watch it on TV. Yeah, hopefully he'll turn it on. I'm gonna put a request in as soon as this is over.
Any final questions for Matt? Dustin, right here in the middle.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. What is different in the sense, and I know that all the rules are different, but how do you feel differently this year opposed to last year this time? Obviously, you'd had the win, and you know, with being with the organization, you're still early on. Is this a continuation of what, you know, what do you see that's different? Because obviously last year you had the win, and this year you don't at this point, but obviously it's still early. But how do you look at the way the seasons, I guess, have started this year and last year?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I think it was, I don't know. I've been asked a few times about having a slow start, you know, and we're like 6 points out of the lead or 9 points out of the lead or something. So it's kind of funny the way it works. So I feel confident. I feel good. I felt really confident at this time last year, you know, coming off that win at Vegas, led a ton of laps at Bristol and just got caught up in that wreck. You know, ran pretty good at Martinsville. You know, we had a really great start last year, led most laps at Daytona. So I had a ton of confidence coming in here last year, especially feeling like it was probably one of my best tracks, you know, personally through the last, 10, 12 years or whatever. So had a lot of confidence coming in here, and we didn't run as good in the first race as I thought, or we thought we should have. So I still have a lot of confidence. I feel like it's been a little more challenging, I think, for the teams to get caught up with these new rules because your setups are just different. You know, we don't have the same baseline we had last year and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like every week we keep improving and we keep getting closer. We didn't have the dominant cars at California. The 48 and 24 were really dominant, but Kyle was still able to get the win there at the end of the race. So I feel like we're gaining on it. You know, I'm confident, but I'm also looking forward to getting to work tomorrow. It's a very unique schedule, so we'll be able to get some practice in, have a night to look at some stuff, and then you know, hopefully have everything nailed down by the time we get done qualifying Saturday.
And with these new rules, obviously, like you say, this is a challenge for the teams, for the engineers, and for the crew chiefs. And I know at the end of the day, you still got to be comfortable in the car. What is the challenge to you in learning it? Is it as much just, I guess, just simple feedback, or is it more of a challenge for the crew chief and engineers than it is to the driver from your perspective? You
know, I think it depends. I think every driver, crew chief, engineer, combination of the team, whatever, probably has a different relationship. I think some drivers are probably just like, yeah, it's doing this, and the crew chief knows them good enough and knows what to fix, whatever, and there's other people that are more involved. So I think the biggest challenge for me was through off-season testing last year, beginning of the year, doing all that stuff. I kind of got a feel for changes. I kind of got an idea for, you know, if Kyle's setup looked like this and Denny's looked like that, then if mine looked like that, you know, we're probably going to be out in the same spot as far as speed and what we like, that type of things. And this just changed all that. It's kind of like totally starting over, you know, because you're just things are different. So there's been, I feel like, some catching up to do, you know, for my part, because even already by this time last year, you know, if Jason was to, you know, if I'd say a certain thing about the car and he made this change, you know, we knew more times than not that was going to give me this feel, you know, and that's kind of gone. You're kind of relearning that just because it's just different with that ride height thing. Just really opened up the toolbox, which I think, by the way, is great. I think the more tools we have to work with, the better, the more interesting it is. I think it creates more passing because it gets the field kind of spread out a little bit in a way. So it's just been different. It's just been a learning process. We're just trying to still get a good baseline, you know, and get good feel off changes and, you know, what it's going to do.
Where did you hit on it
This year? I think we're still working on hitting it.
Okay, we got another follow-up from Bob.
Bob Hucker, Sport News. You talk about the box being a little bit more open this year. Do you like the fact that NASCAR is saying you can kind of choose your air pressures, that there isn't a mandated air pressure. It seems that you all at Gibbs seem to be okay at California compared to many others in the field.
Yeah, I mean, there's a probably, more than just one thing that goes into, some of the problems there. We certainly have different cars this year. We know we have a lot more downforce than we had before, and the rules package is opened up, so our corner speeds are up, so obviously the tire loads are up, and those are all things you have to think about when you're, picking up your setup and air pressure and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think that they need to leave us tools to work with. I think it's up to us. I mean, if we see there's a problem and it's something that we're doing, whether it's speed or not, you still have to finish the race to be able to win it. So you have to be able to, adjust to that if there is something you can do to control that. So it seemed like there was some problems there that maybe could have been avoided.
Matt, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
right.
We appreciate it. Good
Thanks.
luck this weekend.